one-of-one event. It's something that will never happen again. We have this video rendering of what we have the trees that are in the, the south lawn. We'll know exactly where the sun is until it sets. So all the logistics are done. And now it's time we believe that this is going to be the most watched UFC event ever. This is going to be the most unique, amazing night of our entire careers. So, the fighters are walking from the Oval Office and I bet a lot of the people that cover the sport and are fans of the sport probably never even been to the White House before, and obviously the fighters. So this is a really night. And when we go to do something, I like to deliver, and I like to deliver big. So it's going to be special.
All right, so I can see you took care of the White House matchups. I know you're keeping things under wraps for now, but I'm sure you've got a vision and framework for how this card shapes up. What can we expect to see? How many championship fights are we looking at? What does a White House event actually look like? We've got two very different paths in front of us, and the matchmaking wheels are already turning.
Heard the new talk is that Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal could be a potential.
Oh, no,
What's your thoughts? Oh, you haven't heard this?
No.
This is the biggest thing on social media now. Everyone's talking, that Chandler's out and Masvidal's in.
In my algorithm on Instagram, I have nothing MMA.
Right?
Literally nothing MMA pops up. Yeah, I don't listen to any of the goofy
No.
that goes. No.
Is that considered goofy?
That's goofy shit. Yeah.
So we've been kicking around a lot of ideas, and I don't know. Me and Borsari actually fly to DC this week and sit down with the president and his team and start walking them through not just the production but the fight card. We have like 3 different options on all the different production stuff, and see what he likes and what he doesn't like. But let me tell you this: this event is going to be so badass and so unique and so special. And so expensive.
Look, we locked in the White House card last week. The entire thing.
It's not this is not the final card.
I didn't say it was done.
Because
Replay.
He said the card was built.
Card's done.
Okay, Rick? That's what he said.
Trump
He didn't
goes,
say
I
he
don't like
meant
this, I don't like that.
Beating up babies.
Trump is gonna see the card and be like, "Where's Derek Lewis?"
And Conor McGregor is not fighting Derek Lewis, according to
We're gonna need to make a couple changes. We're gonna need Conor versus Derek at least in the headliner.
twice.
And then I don't see myself versus 1,000 babies.
White isn't just promoting a fight here, he's cementing its legacy. All this talk about Topuria facing Gaethje at the White House. This isn't just any bout. Think about the championship pressure at that level. Every single word, every rumor, every whisper from an audience that goes way beyond sports creates this whole other level of psychological warfare. This goes deeper than strikes and grappling. It's mental chess played under the most intense global spotlight imaginable. Topuria, this undefeated phenomenon, going up against Gaethje's relentless intensity. One mistake, one tactical misstep on that stage, and everything you've built could come crashing down. No fighter has ever carried this kind of political weight, but they'll shoulder that burden. And trust me, one of them walks away with their trajectory altered forever, whether that's for incredible glory or absolutely crushing defeat.
Jab, Baron, throw that jab out, Baron. Come on, man, live, breathe, and die by it. So we have no idea who's going to be on it still. We don't even know who's going to be on UFC 327 in April. That's neither here nor there. We don't have any main event.
No, but the whole fucking sport the whole promotion is being held up by this. There's no title fights booked. There's nothing. So are all of them happening?
A fantastic point. No title fights booked right now. We've only had one undisputed title fight in 2026.
Dana White saying this White House card is locked and loaded is pure political theater, a power play of the highest order. You think that means these fights are set in stone? He's putting Topuria and Gaethje under a microscope that dwarfs any arena, the entire country potentially tuned in. This goes beyond just the fight itself. It's about controlling the narrative. Their legacies forged or destroyed under pressure, unlike anything we've seen. When Topuria headlines, you're witnessing a battle where technical mastery meets raw determination. Gaethje's calculated chaos versus the champion's surgical precision, all balanced on a knife's edge of pressure and career implications. The brutal truth is, Dana isn't just selling fights. He's leveraging his influence on the world stage. The psychological war starts right now, long before any punches fly, and that's where the real battle lives.
Alex Pereira posted earlier, the 1, 2, 3, let's go. He wants to be on the White House card. Gable Steveson, if he wins in emphatic fashion, he wants to be on the White House card. Sean O'Malley posted a video about what his next fight could be. Here's what he had to say.
I'm ready to fight Jan. Me versus Jan at the White House. Like, what the fuck else are you gonna do? What the fuck else is there to do? I hope you knock out Jan. I will. Sugar versus Peter with co-main event. That's what I'm talking about. Shit, boy.
But dangling that White House card, it's more than just a venue. It's complete strategic control over the entire sports landscape. You see what happens next. Title fights, contenders, careers, everything freezes waiting for his official word. Topuria versus Gaethje, that's not just a fight, it's an absolute legacy shredder. Think about these training camps, the sacrifices, the brutal cuts these athletes endure, knowing everything might depend on political maneuvering rather than pure skill. Real championship mentality shows when you've got to keep that focus sharp despite all the uncertainty. This isn't just hype, it's a trial by fire to see who can handle the heat before they even enter that octagon. And if you break under this pressure, what happens in that cage will be absolutely devastating.
There's got to be a place for a guy that can represent America. You know, I feel like I don't think there's one American champion right now besides Gaethje, but he's kind of the interim. So if the White House happens for me, it happens for me. You know, if it doesn't, I keep moving on, and the next thing will come, and the next big thing will arise for me. But I would love to be on the White House card. That would mean a lot, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't happen.
He talks about being an American champion. It's not just the American champions that want on. Your 170-pound champion, Islam Makhachev, he talked about being on the White House card as well. Here's what he had to say.
Let's do it. I tell them I will be ready soon.
Think Dana's playing games with this White House card? He's creating the ultimate proving ground. Topuria versus Gaethje headlining. That's a straight-up declaration of warfare. Technical perfection against complete chaos. The pressure is already through the roof. This is Dana's masterclass in political maneuvering. Imagine the psychological warfare, the career-defining stress on that unprecedented platform. What would you give up for immortality under the entire nation's watchful eyes?
For patriotism. This isn't just about fighting in Washington.
You hear these fighters begging for that White House opportunity? Don't sleep on this.
Only we will make the fighting in White House. I want to be in history.
All right, so we're getting everyone and their brothers and sisters calling for the White House card. The sport is literally on hold. Everyone's like, why do you keep talking about the White House card? It's like, because every single athlete and promoter is talking about it as well. So we get the Dana White. It's built. You know, we're going to go pass it by Trump, everything like that. We got a couple of options to go. Then we also get a tweet from Alvaro Colmenero at Colmenero on X, and he reports the plan that the UFC is trying to make involves Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje as the main event.
The goal is building a pay-per-view monster, and the strategy is crystal clear. Justin Gaethje, he wants that American championship. His crosshairs are locked on Ilia Topuria, this ice-cold assassin who just demolished a legend, completely unfazed by massive fight pressure. This transcends your typical main event. It's a nightmare-style matchup. Justin has never faced this kind of mental warfare. Think Gaethje's aggression guarantees success against Topuria's surgical precision and fight intelligence? Not a chance. This is a career-altering collision course.
Would that be White House standard for you guys, main event?
I think it is. I think it is one of the best fighters in the world. I'd love to see him back there. I think it's great. I know a lot of people, first time I spoke about this, the idea of these two fighting at the White House, a lot of people were annoyed because I was like, is this the look America wants? You know, because I have a feeling I know who's going to win that one. No disrespect to Gaethje, I just think Ilia is the fucking man at the moment. Love that fight, honestly. What do you think, Rick, as an American?
I don't care about the
wow.
aspect
This is
of
meant to be about America, mate.
Dana White isn't just teasing a White House event, he's orchestrating a career-defining crucible. When Topuria battles Gaethje in that spotlight, you're witnessing title pressure amplified by political theater completely unprecedented in UFC history. Every headline, every single eyeball will be locked on their performance. There's something unique about what that does to a fighter's mindset. It transcends the weight cut or studying your opponent's game plan. It's that unmatched psychological burden where one connection, one misstep could shatter everything you've worked for. Consider the devastating consequences of coming up short on that stage.
A loss would mean for either man's title.
This is the moment that's going to drag you into deep water where your strength becomes irrelevant. You can guarantee Dana understands exactly what kind of storm he's creating.
I think
you last week said this would be a disappointment.
I think people on Twitter and Instagram and the wide majority of MMA fans would be disappointed with this.
They're very positive people, though, usually on X. I found.
They're also
especially
logical,
after the Tom article.
Logical, you know, and
critical
empathetic,
thinkers.
Critical thinkers is this fan base. I think people would be disappointed with this being the main event.
Really?
I think it's good.
Yep.
I think it's good enough. I think the return of Ilia is going to feel big, and if you put it on the White House, I think people can finally kind of just like...
Under that kind of intense scrutiny.
PPV Monster, a statement. It's about delivering on a historic promise or expose...
Alex is out of the running. It's going to take some maneuvering to get there, but I still think John versus Alex is the most easy one to make. But if you have Conor McGregor versus anybody, I think that can take it to the next level. I would sitting here right now, I think they will get one of Conor or John. That's what I think.
You still think?
Yeah.
There's a potential for Conor or John.
I do.
Conor needs to fight. I keep saying it. This is like, I really feel like he needs to fight more than he has in a very long time, just to stimulate.
When Dana says this White House lineup is finalized and Topuria versus Gaethje headlines, you need to accept the cold hard truth. Forget everything you think you know about pressure. Ilia defends her title against an opponent with nothing to lose, a former champion. This transcends competition. It's a war for the history books that either elevates or destroys you. Gaethje getting his third title opportunity reveals his relentless strategic mind. The reigning champion facing this challenge. Dana White won't just throw together some random card. He's placing elite talent in the White House spotlight.
Conor, I think he wants the PR week that goes with fighting, not only just for himself but for all of the enterprises around him. I think more than ever, I think he will give this an honest to God go. Like the other times he's been getting ready, I just didn't feel like his head was in it at all. And look, I don't necessarily think that it's ever going to be what it was. I was around that guy and I thought he was the best fighter in the world for a very short period of time, but he was magic. Everything he touched turned to gold. We haven't seen that guy in a decade, pretty much. And
think Dana's just dropping names on this White House card? Not even close. This is a global political statement. When you hear Topuria versus Gaethje, understand the absolute war you're witnessing. The champion defending their crown and undefeated record against unstoppable aggression. Everything they've built hangs in the balance. Forget what the analysts are saying. The real battle begins long before that cage door closes. It's in the mental warfare. Topuria's confidence has been bulletproof, but Gaethje turns champions into survivors. Can Topuria maintain that surgical accuracy against someone who thrives in complete mayhem? You tell me who cracks first.
One to give one chaos. That's a champ.
Dana's assembling this elite championship card. Every single piece, especially a potential headliner like Topuria versus Gaethje, is positioned for maximum pay-per-view revenue and ultimate political impact. This goes beyond just a main event. It's a calculated high-stakes gamble designed to explode inside that octagon. Ignore the media narratives. You're witnessing a pure style clash with Topuria's cold, precise striking versus Gaethje's relentless pressure.
The other things that he's doing, I think the problem is going to be the contract. I think the problem is going to be Conor McGregor's expectations of what he needs to be paid, and the UFC no longer being in the business of paying that price is going to be the friction point. I don't think it's the motivation anymore.
It's a good point.
I think it's going to be the money. I think there's a world where they come to Conor McGregor and, like, you know, the Pawn Stars.
Your entire legacy, everything you've accomplished, can vanish in front of the whole world. How does that weight affect a warrior's soul? Dana's playing with dynamite, claiming this White House card is complete. You hear that? Complete. If these reports are accurate, if Topuria headlines, you're witnessing a certified brutal legacy-defining war. Forget the rankings. This is pure psychological combat before the opening bell rings. Gaethje's BMF mentality against Topuria's calculated violence. This is Dana pulling the ultimate trigger, exposing who's really built for the octagon's most intense battleground.